Hey, guys and gals, and welcome back to another Seductive Poison, the Resurgence. I'm sorry I'm behind on eating my dinner. I am having a peanut butter sandwich because I was like, man, it's almost time for my stream, so I got to get something quick to eat. Hey, Blissful. And so, if y'all permit me to finish my peanut butter sandwich as I talk, that'll be groovy. So, hopefully we're not going to have any storms or anything. I know Jay messaged me, excuse me, a little earlier, and he said that he heard some parts of Kentucky got tornadoes today. Now, thankfully, I hadn't seen any of that bad weather, and hopefully we won't. So, hopefully, I also won't lose power while I'm doing this stream or any other time for that matter. Um, So we'll go ahead and get a little housekeeping stuff out of the way, and that'll also give, hey, Batman, that'll also give some more people to get in here that want to hear me review the movies, which, in case you weren't aware, we're going to be covering The Beast Within, Berserker, and Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. I'm also going to be using the Deadites rating scale to rate these things tonight, or these movies tonight. So, first of all, what I wanted to do was, at the advice of my friend Candace, she suggested, me creating. It's probably not going to be temporary, but it's getting some views now. I've created the Deadites on Deck horror shop. For putting my prototypes or actual finished products on a platform where people can take a look at them. They can message me on that page and place an order. I've just got the Booga Booga Bears up there now, but hopefully I'll be able to put other products up there soon. And that's to go ahead and get things kick-started, let people know what's, going on with me and what's going on with the shop. And then I'll probably leave that as an avenue for people to order things, but also I will have my shop later. So I have the website listed on the Facebook page. So it's serving two purposes basically right now. Okay, so I'm going to put that link to the new Facebook page. And if I missed anybody when I was sending invites out, please do not take offense. I was looking at a rather large list of names, and I was trying to pick people that I thought might be interested in the new shop. So if you didn't get an invite, you can still follow the page, like the page, whatever you want to do. My apologies if I did miss anyone. Yes, Blissful, I am really excited. Really, really excited about this. I don't know what this bug is flying around. I think it's just one of those I don't think it's a fruit fly, which is a relief. I think it's just one of those little bugs that flies around your lights and stuff like that. So, sorry. I really shouldn't be eating when I'm on here. It's kind of unprofessional, isn't it? But so y'all can go to the Facebook page. If you have trouble getting to it or there are any errors, let me know and I'll take a look at it. I also wanted to show, for those of you that didn't get a private message from me with these pictures, um, I unpacked the new bears. They were vacuum packed sealed. And so what I did was I went on and put shirts This is going to be Jay's. Again, that is not the actual image. You can see that's just paper. But I was trying to get placement uh, correct and the right size and everything for the image. So this is going to be Jay's bear. This is what he's going to get eventually when it's finished. Yeah, cute. These are quite a bit larger than my bear, so you're gonna get more bang for your buck, I think, when you get these bears. And they're pretty flat when you take them out of that vacuum packaging. And I was like, ooh, I hope these guys and girls or whatever you want to call them. I think Kathy's gonna call hers a girl or refer to hers as a girl. I'm assuming Jay will call his a boy, but this is a sample of what you would be getting if you ordered an actual Booga Booga bear from me. Okay. Everybody might not want the Jaws image, you might want a different image on there, but these are custom made. I can't talk. Custom made to some extent. Um, and so basically the possibilities are endless as far as images that I can put on these t-shirts. And looky here, remember how I said they lied that they weren't hoodies? Well, evidently the first one I got out of there wasn't a hoodie, but these are. Now, granted, you're not going to be able to pull these hoods up on the top of the bears' heads, but it looks kind of cute just hanging back there, right? Um, okay, so this one is going to be Jay's bear. This one, and I have not got the graphic on the shirt yet. I'm still in the process of designing the Freddy Glove graphic that Kathy wants on her bear. But this is her bear. Again, very cute. They're very soft too. I wouldn't recommend using them as a pillow, but they're good to cuddle with, right? So you can also cuddle with your Booga Booga bear. But for those of you that were on here tonight, I wanted to kind of show these off. But I'm going to put them back because I'm putting them up high to keep them away from the dogs. I was kind of hoping that making sure that bear didn't fall. I was kind of hoping that Jay and Kathy would actually be able to be in here to actually see their bear in person, kind of, on the video. Super Batman Nerd, you say, I hate scalpers. The 3-disc 4K collector's edition of Super Mario Brothers from the 90s is going for $600 on eBay. Ooh. The Steve Bear, TJ? That's right. Okay. So, I just wanted to show that off a little bit. There are a lot of exciting products coming soon to the Deadites on Deck Horror Shop. Oh my gosh. I guess we could. You know, I I'm not offering accessories right now. But maybe that'll be forthcoming. But that would be pretty funny. If I was doing these at the height of COVID, I could have put special little face masks on. But what do we got coming up for the rest of the week and into the weekend? All right. Midday with Dana and Jay. Here's the deal, folks. Jay let me know that I believe he's got an eye doctor appointment tomorrow at, I think he's going to have to leave his house around 2 o'clock or a little bit before. Okay. So, uh, he may be able to be on here with me for Midday with Dana and Jay for a little while. I was toying with the idea of another like ask us anything type of show because I don't really know exactly how long Jay will be on here with me. Now, if for some reason Jay can't be on here at all, I will come on for a little while and do a Ask Me Anything where y'all can ask me some questions and stuff. If we're both on here, you can ask both of us. It just be again like most of our shows are loose, free form. Jay might get naked, whatever kind of thing. Um, but we also discussed, or Jay also brought up the idea to do an evening show as well. So we'll work out all the details for an evening edition of evening edition with Dana and Jay, uh, upcoming. Okay, so watch alongs and movie munchies for this weekend. We have When a Stranger Calls for Saturday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Movie munchies for Sunday is going to be Robin's Revenge Prom Night Cake. Yes, this is going to be one of those uber delicious, at least I hope so. Type of cakes that you have at weddings or bridal showers, baby showers, birthday parties. I'm talking the really good homemade stuff. Okay. With buttercream frosting, sugar glass, broken up pieces of sugar glass, and also the return of the Here's Johnny Cake axes to put in the center of it. Okay. If you haven't seen Prom Night, the original Prom Night from 1980, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, and you don't know what in the heck I'm talking about with this cake and what I'm doing with it, please go watch Prom Night. If you can watch it for free, check it out. I highly recommend that movie. Batman, you say, I just got his shirt and a t-shirt in the mail earlier today. Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of adding the cake drip that's red, TJ, and also using some of that edible red glitter. But you said put red drips like blood on the shards of sugar glass. Yes, because there is indeed a scene in the movie where the killer takes a shard of glass and slices a character's throat in the movie. Okay, so I also thought that edible glitter would be glittery and shiny, just like Wendy's prom dress, maybe in prom night. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna step away. Yeah, that's right. Poor Kelly. Right? TJ's gonna give it away. He's gonna say, if you ain't seen this movie by now, well, tough luck, kids. Um, but I am going to step away for just a second. I'm going to get a refresher on my drink, and then we're going to get into these movies, okay? Hey, Candace. Sorry, I stepped away right about the time you came on here, didn't I? All right. So let's get started here with the first movie. Is The Beast Within. That's got one of my favorite transformation scenes ever in a movie. Now, you got to wait till near the end, but it is fantastic. Now, some people might say, yeah, well, it was a little hokey. Well, maybe so. But I still find it fun. Watching a 17-year-old boy turn into a giant cicada, locust, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Candace, you say you've been on. You just got your phone. Okay, gotcha. Um, so we're introduced to Michael McCleary, played by Paul Clements in this movie. Um, as a boy who something literally is happening to his body, and it's changing in ways that become quite frightening. And he's also beginning to have a voracious appetite for people, but not just any people. People with the last name Kerwin. Okay. Now, permit me to have a little flashback thing. I feel like we're going to do a Wayne's World thing, doo type of thing, because we're going to do the flashback deal. Okay. And so what had happened was Michael's mother, just after his mother and father got married, they run off the road. He goes to get a tow truck and all that stuff. Granted, he has to walk a little while. While he's gone, their dog gets out of the vehicle, and Michael's mother goes after the dog. Well, there's something else in the woods. Adam, I am not sure where Jay is. He messaged me a little bit earlier, but he didn't say anything about coming on tonight. He might come on. He might, they could be having some storms too, because Kathy's not on here either. So, I hope they're not, but it's entirely possible. So, anyway, his mother is attacked by some kind of creature and raped. Okay. So Michael was not the product of the union between his parents. He was a product of this horrible rape where this creature raped his mother many, many years ago, 17 years ago to be exact. And so we have R.G. Armstrong playing a doctor who's, doing x-rays of Michael and checking out, different things medically with him. So Ronnie Cox is on this playing Michael's father. BB Besh plays his mother. And like I said, R.G. Armstrong is on this as well. This is based on a book, which I actually read the book many, many years ago. And in my opinion, from what I can remember, it was pretty close to the movie. Or the movie was pretty close to the book, whatever way you want to um, talk about it as. One's similar to the other. Adam, you say you genuinely miss Jay when he's not on. Well, I genuinely miss Jay when he's not on too, but unfortunately he can't be on every one of them. Some of them he's probably just not interested or hasn't seen the movies, feels like he couldn't add anything to it. But I tell him he's welcome anytime he wants to come on. Um, So, anyway, things get progressively worse. And the reason why Michael ends up attacking people with the last name of Kerwin is because his father was actually Billy Connors, who was deceased. I swear, I cannot get on a stream without sneezing lately. Um, so his father actually was Billy Connors, who was somehow tortured to the point that he, became this creature. He was like, I think Billy was fooling around with the Kerwin guy's wife. He found him. He takes Billy and he throws him down in a cellar and, basically, forces him to eat whatever's in that cellar and stuff. And truth be told, the guy probably loses his mind too. Um, but it was said that even when he was a normal man, he said that he could talk to the insects, um, could talk to the cicadas and all that. So when he changes and becomes this creature and rapes Michael's mother, causing her to be impregnated with Michael, who 17 years later is turning into something and not turning into a bratty teenager. He is literally transitioning into a cicada, okay? Or transforming into a cicada. So, this leads up to what I think is one of the best transformation scenes ever on film. Um, and I highly recommend this movie. I don't think you can go wrong with this movie. This movie is actually a little bit longer than most movies that it's similar to, at 98 minutes long. This came out in 1981. Again, there is a book that this was based on. And because of all these things, I am about to give it a rating here. And I'm going to give it 5 Deadites out of 5 just because it's a fun time. You cannot go wrong with this movie. You just can't go wrong with this movie, in my opinion. So, run, don't walk. Find you a for free copy of this, preferably, so you can watch The Beast Within. Okay. So the next one is Berserker, and Jay would be chomping at the bit. You know why? He'd want to rip this thing up because this is from Vinegar Syndrome, and you can see the slipcase is exactly the same as the case on the movie. However, let me show you. Well, no, it's a little bit different, but basically the same artwork. Jay would be angered by this. He would be angered by this. And he would basically tear up that slipcover, I think. So, what is Berserker about? Now, I think The Beast Within is a better movie than Berserker, if I must be honest. So, so a group of friends have set out on a camping trip in a rural part of Utah, and of course, like a lot of these movies, they're warned by a kindly Norwegian immigrant, Pappy Nyquist, played by George Buck Flowers. And he's warned them of a series of recent killings, supposedly the result of a bear attack. The campers, they don't care. They're not going to listen to this crazy old man. Right? They never listen to these people. And they decide to spend the night outdoors, getting drunk and sharing stories of berserkers, who were ruthlessly violent Viking warriors who wore bear skins and snouts. Now, inevitably, they're going to start pairing off for a little romance, right? They find themselves terrorized and ripped apart, and they are indeed ripped apart by a large and violent bear. But is it a bear or is it one of these mythical creatures called the Berserkers? Um, it is very atmospheric. I had a lot of fun with it. I, you know, I found that in some cases to be a little more hokey than The Beast Within, but that didn't mean that I enjoyed it any less. Joe Johnson is also in this movie, and a lot of you that have watched a lot of horror movies, slasher movies in particular, will remember Joe Johnson as being the blonde haired guy who wants to peek on the girls at the slumber party in Slumber Party Massacre. So keep an eye out for Joe Johnson if you watch this. This also features cinematography by Henning Schillerup, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and The Boogans. Also, editing from Marcus Manton, who did Pumpkinhead and Breaking 2. So, again, this was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. I think it's a fun little movie. Like I said, a little more hokey than The Beast Within. Um, and, it's fun, but not nearly as fun as the other two I'm going to talk about tonight. So, I'm going to give it a 3. If I had a half in there, I would probably give it a 3.5 deadites out of 5. But, so there is Berserker. And so the last one I want to talk about tonight, and I know these shows are never very long, especially when I'm not on here with somebody. But this is Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. This is the Arrow release when they. Does anybody remember when they used to put them in these little side slide slip covers? I do. They did it for a little while and then they stopped doing it. I don't know if it was not economical or whatever, but they were really, they were really neat packages back in the day. Um, so if you've not seen The Beyond, again, you're in for a real treat, I think. So we have Catriona McCall returning in another Lucio Fulci film. Remember, she was also in City of the Living Dead, aka Gates of Hell. She was also in House by the Cemetery, and she is in The Beyond. So evidently, she didn't take offense to Lucio Fulci because she was in at least 3 of his films. So Catriona McCall plays Liza, who is left evidently by a wealthy relative a hotel. But as we see at the beginning of the film, this hotel was the site of basically a gruesome murder by Louisiana folks who think this painter, Schweik, is a warlock. And so they kill him, torture him, and then kill him, and then plaster him up. They throw plaster in his face. It kind of looks like it dissolves his face and kind of just plaster him up inside the wall. Kind of like the Telltale Heart kind of thing, or the Cask of Amontillado. Probably more like the Cask of Amontillado from Poe. So anybody that's read that story will be familiar with that. So Liza gets this hotel in New Orleans, and it's just a literal mess. There's flooding water in the basement and everything. So she has to literally call Joe the plumber. He comes in. He's creeping around the basement trying to find out what the problem is, and he's attacked by something that we find out comes from the Beyond, the title of this movie. So it's basically like kind of like zombies. And so then we have a little bit later after Joe is killed, and I had never seen this before. I don't know if this is a real thing in Louisiana. I need Dirk in here to ask him. Or if this is something that Italians do, because we see the wife of Joe come in with his daughter, and evidently his eyes have been poked out by the creature, and so you see his eyes sewed shut, and she brings in a suit to put on Joe. And I was like, I never seen that before in my life. Maybe it is a Louisiana thing. Maybe it's an Italian thing. I haven't a clue. If any of y'all know out there, you can let me know. So during this, bad things start happening, and the daughter goes blind. Acid falls on the mother, and she ends up getting killed. And the little girl, like I said, she ends up being blinded. And so we also are introduced to another blind woman who shows up and, tries to warn Liza that bad things are going to happen, because evidently she knows Spike. And she knows that Spike has basically put a curse on everybody because of what was done to him years and years ago. So we have some fantastic shots in this movie. If you're big into special effects and you love these gory special effects, if you've ever watched Fulci before, you usually know what you're in for with him, especially his earlier stuff. His stuff like City of the Living Dead and Zombie and House by the Cemetery and this one. They're all, in my opinion, very gory. So if you're a gore hound, and I don't think that's a bad term. TJ, you say you don't know if it's an Italian thing, more like a poor people thing. Okay. It could be. I don't know. I just never seen or heard of that before. Um, so you get the great shot of the girl becomes zombified and attacks Liza and David Warbeck's character in the movie. I love David Warbeck. God rest his soul. He's no longer with us, but he was really, really cool and was in several Fulci movies. And he was quite animated when he would talk about the movies too. So he plays a doctor, and him and Liza I kind of think of it as a romantic relationship, although you never see them sleep together or anything like that. Maybe it's a budding romantic relationship. So they are attacked by the little girl whose father died in Liza's hotel. And there's a fantastic, and if you don't believe me, there is a fantastic shot where David Warbeck shoots a gun at the little zombified girl, and a hole just blasts through her head. It is amazing. I kid you not. So you have a lot of zombies in this. You have a lot of gore. A lot of it doesn't make much sense, but do Fulci films really make sense? No. Not for the most part, they don't. Sometimes Argento films don't make much sense either. I'm trying to kill that little bug that keeps flying around my computer screen. Um, but it's very like it's described as a fever dream, and I think that would probably be the best way to describe this movie. If you have not seen The Beyond, hell, if you haven't seen a lot of Fulci's early stuff, and the thought of, you know, I won't say extreme gore, but there's a pretty fair amount of gore in all of his early films. If that does not bother you, then I would highly recommend that you try to see if you can find a full free copy of The Beyond. Highly, highly recommend it, and that's why I'm going to give this puppy 5 deadites out of 5 for a lot of different reasons. For the atmosphere, the gore, the entertainment value, all kinds of things incorporated into this rating. So, I know I've only went on for like 37 minutes, and some of that was talking about the Booga Booga Bears and all that. But if anybody has any questions about these movies, like where can I get these movies, Dana? If you're wanting to buy them, or maybe you're wanting to figure out a place to watch them, I would be happy to look them up if anybody wants to ask. Sorry. Or you can ask me about stuff that's coming up um, in the very, very near future, albeit tomorrow and the weekend. I will tell you that next weekend there will not be a movie Munchies, because on Sunday I will more than likely be at Horror Hound Weekend, um, hanging out with friends and getting my picture taken with the Raimi brothers, and hopefully meeting William Cat and buying some merch and all of that. So, and you will get a full report from me whenever I get back. I am planning on still having the watch along, just won't be able to do the movie Munchies for next Sunday. So I'll stay on here about a minute or two longer in case anybody has any questions or wants to bring anything up. Or that's right, TJ. TJ remembers my story. Yeah, he says, "Don't let Steve near anything you get signed, Dana." LOL. Well, probably I'll be getting, something signed by William Cat. So I'll have to be really, really careful of that, won't I? I probably should see if I can find another Carrie poster. Because I think I had a Carrie poster, but I'll tell you guys and gals something. Whenever I was living with my parents, I didn't take real good care of my posters. I guess I was stupid and just wasn't thinking about things. And so I think my Carrie poster was on my ceiling when I lived at home with my parents. And I think when me and Steve were cleaning all my stuff out to get me moved here in Louisville, I was a little rough with some of them, trying to get the push pins and thumbtacks out. They had been there for a while, and yeah, let me tell you, folks, don't don't put thumbtacks into your or push pins, right? No, it was thumbtacks. Don't put thumbtacks in your posters and put them on your ceiling. Not a good idea. But if nobody has anything else they want to talk about, I guess I'm going to tie everything up here. I've been on here for about 40 minutes. That's about average for one of these review shows I'm doing by myself. So be sure to tune in for what might be a little bit shorter Midday with Dana and Jay. But nevertheless will be fun in any event. And be sure to tune in for the watch-alongs this weekend and the movie Munchies for the Robin's Revenge Prom Night Cake. So, with that being said, I'm going to skedaddle on out of here right now. And I'll see everybody next time. Y'all have a good night.